You have saved your down payment and secured a mortgage. But just as you are ready to receive the keys to your new home in British Columbia, a massive closing cost hurdle appears. That hurdle is the property transfer tax. It is a mandatory provincial fee based on the home's fair market value, and it is due the exact moment your deed is registered. Here is the problem. You cannot roll this tax into your mortgage. The bank will not finance it. It requires a heavy block of cash, paid entirely out of your own pocket. The government markets exemptions that sound generous, leading many buyers to believe their tax bill will be zero. Assuming an exemption completely covers you without running the numbers is a dangerous risk. Miscalculating these limits will leave you tens of thousands of dollars short of the funds you need to close the deal. To find your actual cash requirement, we have to look at the tiered tax system that applies to standard BC home purchases. This chart shows the escalating rates. You pay 1% on the first $200,000 of the value and 2% on the portion up to $2 million. If the property is residential and priced over $3 million, you pay an extra 2% surcharge on top of the 3% rate for the high-end brackets. This standard formula depletes your down payment savings, forcing you to use liquid cash that could have gone toward your equity. For homes priced up to $835,000, the first-time homebuyers program is often presented as the solution. This matrix shows the actual math. The exemption does not cover the whole price. It only wipes out the tax on the first $500,000. This means your savings are capped at exactly $8,000. If you buy an $800,000 home, the standard tax is $14,000. Even with the exemption, you still owe $6,000 in cash on closing day. The eligibility rules are strict. If you have owned a principal residence anywhere in the world at any time, you are disqualified from this program. The first-time homebuyers program is a conditional discount, not a total exemption from the tax. The second major option is the newly built home exemption for properties valued up to $1.1 million. This path completely eliminates the provincial transfer tax up to the threshold, which can save you up to $20,000 in upfront cash. But that saving is instantly countered by another cost. Brand new builds trigger a mandatory 5% federal GST. On a $1 million home, that GST bill is $50,000, more than double what you saved on the provincial transfer tax. The key difference is financing. Unlike the transfer tax, you can often add the GST to your mortgage, paying it off over 25 years. Buying new swaps a one-time provincial payment for a federal debt paid back with interest, increasing your monthly costs for the life of the mortgage. If you are not a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, you face the additional property transfer tax. This document identifies the high-demand regions where the tax applies, including the Capital Regional District, Central Okanagan, Fraser Valley, and Nanaimo. In these areas, foreign buyers must pay a 20% surcharge on top of the standard provincial tax. This massive premium must be paid in cash at the time of registration. It cannot be financed. This 20% surcharge consumes your equity the moment you buy the home. This forces a recalculation of the entire deal, as you are starting with significantly less equity than a domestic buyer. British Columbia's property tax system consists of multiple legal thresholds. Factors like your residency, the age of the home, and the final purchase price determine your total cash requirement. This scorecard maps the paths. The resale path fits buyers under $835,000 who have strictly never owned property anywhere. However, these buyers must still have $5,000 to $8,000 in cash ready for the tax that the exemption doesn't cover. The new build path is for those spending up to $1.1 million who want to keep their closing cash and prefer to finance their tax burden through a mortgage. The foreign buyer path is only for investors with enough liquidity to absorb a 20% equity hit immediately upon closing. Navigating these rules involves meeting strict deadlines and proving your residency status to the provincial government. Because these taxes are legally binding when you register the deed, guessing the math yourself is a massive financial liability. Before you sign a purchase agreement, reach out to the conveyancing team at Pax Law Corporation. They will ensure your math is flawless so your closing goes through without a hitch. You can find their contact information in the description below.